is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the good old Nothing But Dirt. We're out here in the shop tonight. This morning, the Pops, myself, and Nugget took a trip out to Hickory, North Carolina, and we picked up some parts for the front end of this modified, and we're going to start hanging tonight. We went out there for the Cars Racing Show. Pretty neat event they had out there. Got to go speak to some vendors and maybe work on a couple possible deals. Let me turn this heater off real quick. It's cold out here. But we got some parts from Four Boys Racing Products, I believe it is. But they're out of, I can't quite remember where they are. They're up here in North Carolina. They're the parts trailer at County Line. But anyhow, we got to see Mike Evok with Race for Heroes. That was pretty neat. Got to speak with him, and got to speak with some really great people. But anyhow, we're out here. We're fixing to start on this front end and getting it back together. Got all our outpace stuff as well as our Ayers fabrication lowers. I'm excited to put that stuff on and get this car like it needs to be, where we can get some camber in the front end. And I'm very excited for that. All right, guys, so this is just a little rundown real quick of what we're going to be installing and a few things we'll have to do to make these parts work together. So first off, we're running the three-piece spindles on the front. These are metric spindles. They're the Speedway brand. And we're going to actually have to, for these lower ball joints, running the bigger lower ball joints, we're going to have to ream out the lower ball joint hole, which is not that bad. I actually had to buy a Reamer at Charlotte. But see, they actually bolt together, which is really neat. It's actually really neat how they work. Then we're going to be putting on the AFCO hubs here, and rotors and all that type of good stuff. For the bearings, we got the DRP bearing spacers for the front, as well as AFCO bearing kits. Outpace, this is a Outpace drop tie rod for the right front, as well as Outpace upper control arm. And then, of course, you got the Ayers fabrication. There's the phone number there. By far the best lowers on the market right here. All new QA1 ball joints. And then as well, whenever you get these Hymens on your lowers, great way to get the bind out of your front end. Got this trick little pull bar bolt. This is from Hammond Motorsports. This thing is killer. I can't wait to have this on the car. Shout out to Dave Hammond for making some great products like that. And then this is the Reamer special little gift from Michael Ayers at Ayers Fabrication. I guess my new nickname is Mighty Mouse. He said these had to go on the lower, so what the heck. We're going to throw them on there. So while we were up there at Hickory, we actually had an opportunity to go through like a little swap meet deal. And I was fortunate enough, a fella had a Dan Olson oil pan for a small block Chevy. I went ahead and picked that up. That'll be for the little 355. I got a killer deal on it, and I'm excited to have a good oil pan on this motor. I pulled the oil pan off with Dad last night, and man, this bottom end is killer. I'm pretty sure it's just got a stock crank in it, but it's got a killer set of rods and pistons in it, and I'm really excited to get this thing in the car and see how it actually is going to react. But I am going to have to pull the intake off. I messed up, and when I flipped the motor over to take the oil pan off, the lifters fell out because I wasn't thinking, because I have the rocker arms off right now. But anyways, it happened. And when we get the big motor back from Earl, got to speak with him at the Hickory's car show. That was pretty cool. But got to speak with him, and going off what he's saying about this SB2, when he's done with it, I trust Earl. It's going to be one heck of a piece, and we're gonna enjoy having that big motor still sitting there for the bigger tracks. Maybe we go down to Volusia we'll need that big motor down there. VMS, same thing. All right, got the spindles bolted together. I'm about to ream the bottoms out for the lower ball joints. See, we run the bigger Chrysler style lower ball joints. I believe they're like the 10 degrees. I can't remember. It's whatever this Reamer is. And anyhow, part number of the Reamer, it's 84015. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's a How Racing Reamer. I got it from the SRI trailer. But anyhow, we'll throw that up on time lapse, and y'all can kind of see what it does. But like I said, I got the spindles put together. Now we're about to ream them out. Well, that didn't quite go as I planned it to. Not sure if the Reamer might be getting worn, or maybe the drills just aren't powerful enough. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to wait till Monday, or maybe if I can get up with Mr. Larry tomorrow, which I believe he's at the beach right now. But what the plan is for that, we're going to take those things up to Mr. Larry's shop and throw them on the drill press and see if we can't get them reamed out that way. I need to take that oil pan I got for the motor up there anyhow and get it cleaned up so we can get it on the bot or on the motor. But we're gonna get these control arms on, you know, just start bolting the pieces that we can onto the car and getting it as close as we can. Alright, well, I ran into a few problems. These Heims, they require a special spacer. So on my right front, I've actually got the correct spacers that bump this Heim down to a 1/2 inch, which that's not tight yet, of course, but it reduces it down to a 1/2 inch so you can use the 1/2 inch bolt. As you might be able to see over here, there's still a little bit of a gap. You can kind of just see how much slop's in there. That's not good. So I just noticed that. Hopefully I can get up the outpace, and I can get the right stuff either ordered or sent to me, and we can make all this stuff work. Kind of at a stopping point tonight. I've got to get those spindles reamed out for the lowers, ball joints, and then still have to get a center link ordered and idle arm, and then I can start putting the rest of this stuff on, and you know, get this thing back ready. Alright, so y'all might be wondering what in the world I was doing to the spindle and the hubs right here on the vise. And to answer y'all's question, I was adjusting the bearing spacer. What the point of the bearing spacer is for is so you can tighten down your spindle nut all the way tight. And that spacer will allow you where you're, well, like this is as tight as I can get. I tend to over tighten stuff. Sorry, Caleb, gym membership for you. But as you can see, that thing, there's no grease in it right now, but it's real nice and free. And then of course, when I put the grease in it, it'll tighten up just a little bit, but it'll still be real free. And the goal is to get as much drag out of the car as you can, because when you start, you know, having drag in your bearings and that kind of stuff, scrub speed. So, and I'm looking forward to this next season, and you got some really great partners coming on board, and you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do now that I got the front end like I want it. And I couldn't get any of the geometry like I wanted on the front end with caster camber, that kind of stuff. So now that I can get some camber in the car, I can really get this thing to turn left and you know, get it around the racetrack. Alright, so we got the spindles reamed. I didn't really get any video of it, but definitely want to say thank you to Jamie for helping me get that done. He had the tools, a little bit better drill than what I was using. I actually think I smoked my drill, so that sucks, but you know, it happens. So I'm gonna have to run out to Harbor Freight sometime and pick up another drill so I can finish this body. But anyhow, I'm actually starting to pack all these bearings. I do it a little bit different way. My dad taught me something he got from like the cup teams, so that's the way we do it. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I've never had any problems with bearings doing it this way, and it eliminates as much drag as you can do, you know. So this is the way I do it. And if you have any questions, drop down in the comments, and you know, let me know what y'all think. Alright, so once you get everywhere, you know, greased up, and on both sides of your rollers, you just take your finger, take that excess grease, and you just roll it around on those rollers. That way it has a nice coat for when it, for all the contact on the race. But quick, easy way. It's a lot better than, you know, getting in there and packing your bearings the regular style. I know they make bearing packers. I actually have one. But like I say, this is how you get the least amount of drag as possible. So it's the way we're gonna do it, and it's the way I was taught by my dad, and he was taught by a cup guy. So tech tip. All right, so you already got your bearing spacer in there, your rear bearing, and then your seal, and then you slide it up on the spindle as so. Make sure your bearing spacer goes all the way in. Take your front bearing or your outer bearing and get it set in there. nice like that. Then you'll take this here washer, make sure the keyway, it has a keyway rather. Throw it on there, spindle nut. And then when you're running the bearing spacers like this, you can actually crank down on these things as hard as you can. And it'll still be as free as if you were to sit here and, you know. All right. So once you got it like that, I mean, y'all saw I just sat there and I cranked on it, and it's still really free. The grease kind of slowed it up just a little bit, but she's about as free as you're gonna get right there. Might back it off just a little bit. There she goes. Perfect right there. That thing ain't going nowhere. All right, got everything on. I still have to fine tune my ball joints, throw some springs in it. Kind of waiting to do that so I can actually run this thing through travel and relocate my shock. As y'all can see, I got a longer, and this one's pretty neat. It's actually double adjustable here and here, so you can fine tune your camber and caster very easily. That's something that RTR kind of developed and asked for. But lowers are on, uppers, spindles, hubs, everything's greased. Bearing spaces are set. And like I say, I have to relocate this shock. I don't like this style shock mount. If for some reason somebody were to leave this loose, it actually wallers that out and creates a lot of issues. And I feel like the shock needs to travel in line with the spring. Just geometry that I was taught long time ago, honestly. But that's where we're gonna do that. And yeah, but front end's back together, start to look like a race car again. As y'all can see, the deck's on. I just gotta make this piece, I gotta remake this, and then make that back piece there. This didn't really come out. I should have remade this piece, but I didn't. It'll kind of be hid by the sail panel, thankfully. Got the roof made, the rest of the body's right here. Back on the body video here shortly. Don't ask me when, because I really don't know. Got a lot of things going on. Got to get the body done. We have a fella coming up from Florida to get a body put on his car and a setup under it. And you know, I got to finish the pit card. I got a lot of things to do in a short amount of time. Not looking like we'll be able to make the race down in Screven. I wish I could. I mean, Georgia dirt tracks are like where it's pretty much where I was raised, you know, but it isn't the right timing. But hopefully, you know, here soon we can get everything back together and be able to go and race. So we're looking at Halifax, March. I believe it's like the second week of March, maybe third week of March. We will be at Halifax for the Baton Memorial Race. But anyhow, appreciate y'all coming along, watching. Make sure you go down, drop a comment, hit that like button, and of course subscribe to the channel if y'all love dirt racing. I know I do, and that's the whole reason why I do all this stuff. So just give y'all like a little you know, insight of what the drivers and car owner and, you know, pit crew pretty much what goes into these things. And it's not easy doing all this stuff by yourself. You know, I got Jamin, he's great help, but when everything's down here at the house, I do everything myself, and I can't always have Jamin here. I appreciate his help, and he makes things a whole lot easier. Just like when I needed these spindles done, he said, heck yeah, bring them over. And he met me there at the shop, and we got them reamed out. But pro tip, if you got to sharpen a reamer, put it in a drill, spin it backwards with sandpaper or emery cloth, and it will actually sharpen the reamer back, so you can ream these hardened spindles. These things are super hard, but that's what we want. They're pretty much indestructible, so once you buy them once, all you gotta do is replace, you know, maybe a steering arm. But anyhow, appreciate y'all coming along. Make sure to drop down, do what you do, and we'll catch y'all later.